They didn't shout it. They didn't need to. She can't shoot. It passed across the planning table like a fact. Quiet, settled. Maps were marked, targets assigned, rifles handed out. Everyone else was given a purpose. She was told to count ammunition, log radio traffic, stay behind the shooters. One man glanced at her rifle and smirked. Another leaned back and said, "Doesn't matter. We won't need her." She didn't look up, didn't react. She was watching the dust outside the tent, the way it drifted left, then corrected, the way the wind ignored the forecast completely. She wrote new numbers in the margin: wind speed, angle, distance. No one asked why. A sniper tapped his scope, confident. Enemy commander won't even know what hit him. She finally spoke, just once. "Your wind's wrong." No one answered. The patrol rolled out anyway, and 15 minutes later, when the first shot missed, when the radios filled with static, when the enemy commander started moving his men with precision, they would realize something too late. The most dangerous mistake on the battlefield isn't fear. It's deciding who matters before the shooting starts. Before we tell you what happened next, tell us where you're watching from. Because what happened next wasn't loud. It was exact, and it changed everything. They reached Overwatch exactly where the plan said they should. High ground, clear lanes, good sight lines, the kind of position commanders love because it makes everything feel under control. The sniper settled in, breathing slow, scope steady. Below them, the terrain looked calm. Too calm. The first shot came clean, trigger squeeze, controlled exhale. The round snapped past the target and vanished into dust. No one said anything. The sniper adjusted slightly, barely a correction. "Wind's steady," he muttered. The second shot missed wider. Now someone noticed. The spotter leaned closer. "Check your hold." "I held it," the sniper replied, quiet, certain. Radios crackled once, then went silent again. Downrange, something shifted. Not panic, not retreat. Movement with purpose. Small groups repositioned, angles changed, spacing tightened. Whoever was commanding them wasn't reacting. He was adjusting. Back at Overwatch, confidence thinned. The sniper checked his scope, tapped it once, harder this time. "Enemy commander's smart," someone said. "Still doesn't matter." Another shot, another miss. This one cost them. An enemy element slipped behind cover it shouldn't have reached. Too fast, too clean. The spotter hissed, "They're reading us!" Static tore through the radio. Then a voice, broken, urgent, cut in and out. Movement, left flank. Repeat. Silence. For the first time, no one spoke. They looked at the terrain again. The same ground, the same wind. Nothing made sense, except to one person. She stood a few steps back from the shooters, notebook still in her hand. She hadn't stopped writing. She'd stopped because she was finished. The wind wasn't steady, it was being funneled. The terrain below wasn't flat, it was shaping air like water through stone. Every shot they took followed the forecast. Every miss followed reality. She looked up. "Wind's crossing the ravine," she said calmly, quartering left to right. "It's faster near the rock face." No one answered, not because they didn't hear her, because they didn't want to. Another burst of static, this time louder. "We're pinned. They're moving like they know." The transmission cut. Someone swore under their breath. The sniper shifted again, frustration bleeding into his voice. "Give me one more." The shot rang out. Miss, closer, but still wrong. Downrange, the enemy commander made his move. Signals flashed, hands rose, men flowed forward with precision. This wasn't luck, this was control. The spotter lowered the binoculars, voice tight. "They're advancing." A pause, then, finally, "What are we missing?" No one answered. She stepped forward, not fast, not dramatic, just close enough to be heard. "You're shooting where the wind should be," she said, "not where it is." The sniper turned toward her. "You said that already." She met his eyes, "And you missed again." Silence. Heavy. The kind where rank starts to matter less than truth. The commander looked from the scope to the terrain, to her notebook. "Show me," he said. He took the notebook from her hands. Didn't skim it, didn't question it. He read it the way men do when instinct tells them something is wrong, and pride is the last thing standing in the way of fixing it. Wind speed, rewritten, angle corrected. Terrain effects marked where no one else had bothered to look. The numbers weren't dramatic. They weren't clever. They were honest. He looked up at her once. Then he turned to the sniper. "Give her the rifle." The words hung in the air longer than they should have. The sniper didn't move at first, not because he was angry, because he was stunned. He had trained for years, qualified countless times, built a reputation on clean shots and steady hands, and now, in front of everyone, the rifle was being taken from him. Slowly, he unclipped the sling, passed it over. No protest, no excuses, just the quiet understanding that the battlefield had spoken, and it hadn't chosen him. She accepted the rifle without a word. No glance around, no moment of triumph. She dropped into position like she'd been there all along, bipod set, stock pulled tight. The world narrowed to a circle of glass. Her breathing slowed until it barely existed. Her pulse settled into something steady, something patient. She didn't rush. The wind moved again, barely visible, but enough. Downrange, the enemy commander stepped out from behind cover, just for a second, long enough to raise a hand, long enough to issue a signal. Most people would have rushed the shot. She didn't. She waited for the wind to finish lying. Then she fired. The report was sharp, contained. No echo, no drama, just consequence. The enemy commander collapsed mid-motion. The signal died with him. For a moment, nothing happened. Then everything did. Below, movement lost its rhythm. Men hesitated. Orders overlapped. Units shifted where no one told them to. The radio came alive. "Target down." Another voice followed, louder now. "They're breaking formation." No cheers erupted. No one celebrated. They watched, because professionals understand the difference between noise and victory. Without leadership, the enemy advance unraveled. What had moved with precision now moved with doubt. What had felt coordinated now felt improvised. They pulled back in fragments, trying to recover a tempo that was gone for good. She lifted her face from the scope. "Don't celebrate," she said quietly. "They'll adapt if we let them." But they didn't get the chance. The withdrawal became a retreat. The retreat became distance, and distance became safety. Only then did the tension drain from the overwatch position. The sniper sat back on his heels, hands resting on his knees. "I was wrong," he said. "No bitterness, no justification, just truth." She nodded once. That was enough. Back at base, the after-action report was written. Coordinates, timelines, threats neutralized. Her name appeared once, under the line that mattered, shooter. No one made a speech about it. No one needed to. Respect doesn't arrive loudly. It settles. Later, when the tent emptied and the gear was packed away, someone finally said it out loud. "We should have listened." She didn't respond. She didn't need to, because the lesson had already been paid for in missed shots, broken plans, and one decision corrected just in time. They never said she couldn't shoot again. They never needed to, and they never underestimated her after that. Some mistakes on the battlefield come from fear, but the most dangerous ones are made long before the shooting starts, when people decide who matters before they bother to find out why. If stories like this matter to you, stories of quiet skill, earned respect, and moments where truth outweighs ego, subscribe to MindFront.